Bring in Ollie London, who personally went through all of this in his life. He detransitioned in 2022 after undergoing more than 30 surgeries in 10 years while identifying as a trans woman. He is the author of the very notable book called Gender Madness, One Man's Devastating Struggle with Woke Ideology and His Battle to Protect Children. Ollie, thank you very much for joining us once again. It's good to have you back. You know, I'd like to get your reaction to Justice Sotomayor, who was just quoted there by Shannon Bream, who was making the argument that this is a minority protection issue, as it was for women and it was for blacks, as she said. What's your reaction to that, Ollie?
Well, you know, every single American, regardless of race, regardless of identity, has the exact same equal rights. So I think that was an unfair comparison to try and compare, you know, the struggles that women's rights faced over the centuries, the struggles that African Americans faced. So I think that was a wrong comparison, you know, whereas Justice Kavanaugh made a great point saying that European countries, which include the UK, Sweden, Norway, and Finland, who were at the forefront of pushing these hormones and puberty blockers, they have now reversed course and either banned or suggested bans on puberty blockers and hormones for minors. So, you know, I think this is a very groundbreaking moment, and you know, millions of children's lives depend on the Supreme Court ruling.
Yeah, so true. You know, I think most importantly, I'd like to ask you, as these justices weigh this, what would you want them to understand about your experience? What can you share with them that might help them in what they're determining right now?
Well, there's a lot of very vulnerable, young, confused people out there. You know, I transitioned as an adult, but there are now across America thousands and thousands of kids coming out at increasingly younger ages, you know, sometimes 5 to 8, saying that they're trans. And you have different scenarios. You have some parents that generally try to push this on their kids, like Munchausen by proxy. You generally have some parents that are feeling helpless and they want the best for their child and they're confused, and their child tells them they're trans, and you know they may struggle with that, but they think that they want the best for these kids. But at the end of the day, you know, kids go through different phases. Kids change their mind about things all the time, and something that is so irreversible like hormones and puberty blockers, you know, that really has life-changing consequences, that has long-term health issues as well, including bone density growth issues with puberty blockers, even increases in heart issues. And, you know, we see also young people, 15-year-olds in states like California that have their breasts cut off, like detransitioner Chloe Cole, you know. It's basically sterilizing young kids. And, you know, some of these young girls, when they become women and, you know, they regret what they've been through, they might not be able to conceive, they might not be able to have kids. So it's something that justices really need to take seriously because it's affecting so many kids.
Yeah. I mean, when I listen to you, I think how crazy it sounds that we would allow this for children in any state. I know it's, you know, one of the states are dealing with it. More than half of them have banned it. And now it's up to the Constitution and the Supreme Court to decide if they're going to tap the brakes, as Justice Kavanaugh said. And you're giving everyone a lot to think about. I really commend you for speaking out as you have, Ollie. Thank you very much for joining us today.
Thanks, Martha. God bless, and a pleasure. Thank you.
God bless. Thanks. Good to see you.